Heyo, this is Andrew Whipple with Gamer's Guide to Life, and I'm tossing you into the unshakable bowels of Relic's latest effort, Warhammer 40k Space Marine. It's important to note that as cliché as it may seem, the universe of 40k has had Space Marines trudging about since the 80s. Now, we all know that the market has been oversaturated with post-apocalyptic, gunmetal gray space shooters for some time now, but 40k is the archetype. A Space Marine might not seem like anything special just by glance, but it represents the brutal, murderous, and overly tough world Games Workshop has crafted. If you have no prior knowledge of 40k, be prepared to be baffled. Space Marine doesn't do a good job of explaining what's going on or what's so damn special about you or your group. Thankfully, the plot's extremely generic, so that helps as far as accessibility is concerned. But most of the time, you'll be wondering why everyone keeps talking about this Emperor guy, or why you're more than half the size of some of the other soldiers. That, or maybe you're wondering why an orc is shooting at you with a gun. Saying that, the lore of 40k is seemingly impenetrable to the average person. But then again, if this applies to you, then the story probably never mattered anyway. On the flip side, 40k fanatics are going to castrate themselves in excitement at the detail Relic has poured into the game. Bolters, thunderhammers, chainswords, everything you know and love about the Space Marines are represented in beautiful form. It also helps that the game itself looks gorgeous, in a beautiful disaster kind of way. Your armor, enemies, the particle effects coming off of your weapon, even when you initially blast off with your assault pack, it's all rendered in crisp, intricate detail that truly shows off the amazing looking objects of the 40k universe. Even floating orcs. I guess trapped ones too. But hey, we didn't come here to look at pretty horizons and golden sashes. One of the main draws to Space Marine is the furious combat, and does it ever deliver? Okay, so Space Marines are essentially beefed up humans with 3 lungs and all sorts of other crazy things. Hiding behind cover is something they just don't do. This isn't Gears of War. To represent this, you must constantly be involved in the flow of combat, as it's the only way you can gain your health back. You heard me right. By executing your foes, you'll receive a gross amount of health back. It actually works out well since you have a shield meter that encases your health, making you more resilient, much like Halo. Melee combat-wise, the system works like a basic Dynasty Warrior setup. You have a set of 4 combos for each weapon, and each has a stun attack at the end. Once you stun an opponent, you can then perform an execution, which is beyond satisfying. I think I'm just going to show these executions for the next couple of minutes, because they're so damn awesome. With such a huge number of enemies on the screen at all times, the targeting system actually surprised me. Believe it or not, it feels much like Arkham Asylum's superb combat. At any point, you can turn to face your enemy, slash them across the face, evade the attack, and then get right back into the thick of it. You can also seamlessly integrate your ranged weapon into the fight without a hitch. There's nothing like blowing 12 orcs out of the way with a well-timed melt-a-gun blast. I was disappointed with the selection of melee weapons found in the game, and if you discount the throwaway knife you start out with, you'll rotate between just 3 items for the duration of the game. There's plenty of ranged weaponry to keep things fresh, but those melee weapons never gain additional combos or special abilities to make slaying that much more fun. The same goes for those executions. It's super satisfying to slam some guy into the ground, but after the upteenth time, you kinda wish there was more variety. Once you blow through the 7-hour campaign, you can take the fight online in 8-on-8 Chaos vs Space Marine Warfare. There's only 2 modes to choose from, either Annihilation, which acts as Team Deathmatch, or Seize Ground, which requires the capture of points. It's a class-based endeavor, and you can choose from 3, all with different weapons and perks. Yeah, you heard me, the Call of Duty-esque perks. As you rank up, you'll start unlocking various equipment and perks to choose from. You've seen this all before. However, the multiplayer component is actually a decent distraction with core shooting mechanics that work very well. The melee stuff is a bit spotty with lag, but it's always a good time when you can backpedal and destroy that guy who thought he had you. The major draw to the online, though, is the complete customization that comes with it. Like the tabletop game, you can literally switch out any piece of armor on your Marine, color them individually, and put them on any way you'd like. Never has there been such fine attention to detail in a multiplayer component of a game. While it won't give you the same feeling as a notable AAA shooter, it still will satiate your thirst, at least until the heavy hitters start coming out this holiday season. Space Marine is a fine representation of the Warhammer 40k universe, and is a complete blast to play. While it lacks variety in its weapon and online functionality, it more than makes up for it with immaculate attention to detail and intense melee combat. If this is what we can expect from Relic in the third-person genre for 40k, I can't wait to see what they have cooked up for us.
I've saved some orcs for you.